Okay, good morning, everybody. Welcome Monday morning, coffee and art in the morning. Thanks, everybody, for being here. I was just doing a little good morning pre-chat with everybody and making some little paperclip sari silk. Sari silk, that's S-A-R-I. Some people thought I was saying sorry like S-O-R-R-Y. It's sari silk. The silk that saris are made out of. And you can get it on Etsy. And so anyway, I just put some on the little paper clips and just make little paper clip, like little decorative paper clip flags, like on my adorable. Um, this is some of the ones that I have in my adorable. And you don't have to use sari silk. You can, like, that's ribbon there. And here's one with, where's one here? I got some different ones with just some plain ribbons. And so anyway, yeah, this is one of my idea notebooks. This is my portable one. I have my big 3-ring binders. So when I write notes in something like this, then it goes into the binder with elaborated, expanded ideas. But if you just have, and I use Post-it notes too, but the Post-it notes also can be then transferred into your idea notebooks. So we'll talk more about the Society of Idea Collecting later. Oh, that's awesome, Scoobs. I was said good morning to everybody that I saw before I hit record. So thanks, everybody. We have over 80 people this morning so far. Thanks, everybody, for popping in. This is a live show on Ustream with a live chat. Mostly awake people. I don't see Jean. And so if you're watching the recording on YouTube, thanks for watching the recording. And just be aware that this is a live chat. I talk a lot, I chat a lot, and I will probably repeat myself a lot. So don't email me. So anyway, just making some pretty little paper clips. I got this box of paper clips, and I've also used the larger ones. These are just the regular size paper clips, but I got these at Walmart, 250 of them. I think they were like $1.88 or like $2 or something like that for 250 of them. So I'll have plenty to make. I have some ideas for the society. So I'm just going to move that off to the side, but that's one of the office supplies that I bought, or school supplies. Then I also got these little notebooks, which I waited to open up here with you guys. And I got all this at Walmart, this particular batch of stuff at Walmart. And so these are 3 different bundles, 3 different colors in them. So I'm going to open these up. Dang, that's some thick plastic there. I know my Timmy scissors are stronger than that. There we go. And these are just the little plastic ones. They have like a plastic cover on them. You can also get these with the, I'll show you the others that I got, like this, this kind, the cardboard kind in the colors. But I like the little plastic ones if you use these like for in your purse or bent page. If you use these in your, handbag, pocket, or whatever, they're nice because they're plastic coated. So this set, and it has the colors on the front of each one. I saw these 3. They may have more different color packs, but these are the 3 I saw. So this one has the lime green, the teal, and the purple. This one has a pink, the orange, and the yellow. And then these I think have a muted tones. Oops, come back here, scissors. Let's get this. Yeah, they're good for idea collecting, exactly. And then this one has like a magenta, coral color, and a lavender. So those were the 9 colors that I saw. And again, they look like this. And these particular ones were over in the office supply. They weren't all out there, you know, at Walmart when or Target or anywhere that has all the school supplies like stacked out. These were not out there with all the school supplies when you walk in the store. They were over in the office supply. Yeah, you don't have enough. Yeah, you do, Lindsay. You have more ideas than you think. So anyway, I just thought that, you know, and you can also, if you get like 3 or 6 or however many you want, you can have a different topic for each one. Now, I'm not going to carry this many around, but if you did want to have your ideas broken out, like I do have dividers in my big 3-ring binder idea collecting notebook, and I have dividers, you know, the color dividers, you know, 3-ring notebook, you know, it's just a regular old dividers, but they're colors, you know, and you can have different colors for different subjects. Like we can, you know, we're going to have colors is one of the topics. So I know I love little tiny books. So there's those. And then again, I did get some of the larger ones. I got, like I said, these were 50 cents at Walmart. And they're just your regular wide rule. They're not even college rule. But I use these for not just ideas, but also, and I haven't done one in a while. I need to pull out my old glue books. These are great for glue books. Or y'all, is there anybody here that has not seen Fluffette? My composition book where I was collecting, you know, colors and information about things that you guys like. This was back when 7 years ago, 6 years ago, when there wasn't that many of us. And I made a composition notebook, and I made color pages. I started to make it for an address book, but it just got too fluffy, so I called her Fluffette. The book is Fluffette, and it has, you know, people's favorite colors and flowers and things like that. Do glue books? You, hey, Button. Gonna have to go to the dreaded So anyway, Fluffette is up there. I don't know. I think I can probably get. I have to get my chair. I have to just make sure I don't knock into my cords here. But Fluffette is up on the top shelf because I don't use her anymore. Let me just get my little folding chair here. I don't use Fluffette anymore. Now you're probably going to see my big foot up here, so hang on. I have to step up on the table. So let me get up here. Let me move my little bead pulls. Hang on, guys. I got to reach up on this top shelf. A little bit of dust. Whoa, whoa. All right, let me get situated again. So I'll just show you what you can do with one composition book. All right, I'll show you that in just a second. All right, so I got the white one, an orange one. They have yellow, they have blue, but I got these colors here. You want to see Fluffette? Okay, Lena, hang on. And so I got these, and then I got one graph too. So you can get it in graph paper, which I love the graph ones. Hang on, I gotta take a sip of coffee. I'm out of breath now. So I got these, like I said, they're 50 cents each. So what can you do with one composition book? You can do this. This is one composition book. Pages are not glued together. Fluffette must be a senior citizen. Yeah, she's been retired to the shelf. So this is Fluffette. There was a double page spread for everybody in the group that was in the group at the time. I think there's 100. There's 100 or 90 to 100 people in this folder, in this, I know, everybody loves Fluffette. And so I put tabs. I handmade all my own tabs, so everybody's name is on there. And with their color. Julie Topaz is actually in here. She's been here since day one. There's Vicky BR, who's been here since day one. Barb Owen, Packer Dye, Carrie Pixie. Who else is in here? I'm trying to see people y'all might know that have been around forever, that are still. Jean. Linda White Holloway Art Unit. Here's Julie Topaz. So here's Julie Topaz's colors, notes, and this is back when we would do this is back when we did All About You collages. And what I did was every week I would do an All About You collage. This is just a photograph because I would send the originals to the person that we made their collage. And we'd ask all these questions. I'm going to use Julie as our example here. So we would, while we were all here, we would ask, we would kid and say, drill them, ask, but we say, oh no, ask polite questions. But anyway, Julie has her, I saw she took a picture of her bookcases. Julie Topaz has a wall O bookcases in her house, and she has hers framed and up on the wall. And the pictures I did of her grandchildren too, I think are on that same wall. Fluffette will be marred for life. Yeah. So these are some of the questions we would ask. This is not the list of questions. I have a list of questions somewhere. I don't even know where my list is. But like your favorite movie, your favorite colors, your favorite songs. We did this one. We did Julie on October 2011. So that's when we did Julie's collage. Coffee or tea, your nickname, your favorite craft, your favorite art style. Where do you use your supplies? Are you a hoarder or are you a user? What kind of music? What kind? And anyway, we ask all these questions. Your favorite supplies, music. So anyway, and then we would take that information and make a collage. You were a mystery guest? Okay, so we did occasionally have a mystery guest. And what that meant was I would be in chat, in private DM, private chat with somebody, with the person, and they would not know, nobody else would know who the person was, and then you'd have to guess who we were talking about. And if you guessed who we were talking about, you got a giveaway or something. Anyway, these were her colors, and then we used those colors in her collage, and it was so fun. And anyway, so this is Fluffette. And like I said, everybody, and not everybody I'd got to make a collage for. I think we made about 50 collages, I think, All About You. We had them on Flickr. They're probably still on Flickr. I don't really use Flickr anymore. But back then we used Flickr a lot, because everybody was using Flickr. Let me see. Eileen's in here. I was going to find Eileen's picture. If I can find it. Because I kept photographs, hard copy photographs of all the, there's Jean, of everybody's. There's Jen Oz. Jen Oz's, we actually did her a puzzle. She actually had we used puzzle pieces, and all these collages are 8 by 10. All these are actually 8 by 10 because I wanted to keep them where we could easily mail them in a standard envelope. Yeah. You did good, Julie. Let's see. Miss Rose, we actually did a book. We did a double page spread, some of her letters and things. If y'all send me emails, I kept those. There's Rach 0113. Who else do we have that were Sherry Pink? But I was looking for Eileen. I know she's in here somewhere. There she is. So Eileen, we did Sandra D. Blue suede shoes. If y'all don't know, Eileen actually was on American Bandstand and used to babysit for, and we say babysat for Dick Clark. She didn't babysit for Dick Clark. She babysat for Dick Clark's child. But anyway, so our Eileen, he's a mod here, and she went to the store so we can talk about her. Hey, Jean. Yeah, a lot of people, yeah, when you're on your iPad, now that they have, is there a full page? No, Lindsay. Although Cam and I did do some Jazza challenges over the week. Cam did some awesome challenges. We use Jazza's app. If y'all haven't done the Jazza Arty Party, his app, I think it's like $2.99. I've had it for like a year. Anyway, so Cam and I did some Jazza challenges, so that some of the incremental ones. It was really fun. We had a lot of fun. We did that for 2 different days for like an hour each day with 10-minute challenges. So we probably did about, I don't know, 5, maybe about 10 challenges off of Jazz's app. Is Fluffette on the Hoarders? I mean, must need supply book. Yeah, it's just a composition book that I have scrapbook paper. I put scrapbook paper covers on it. But all this, no pages are glued together, is one of these. Whoops, there went my mouse. Hang on, guys, let me read. There. It's just a composition book. This one's the graph one, but it's just a composition book like this. That's all it is. One composition book. And so yeah, so that's Fluffette. So this is what you can do with the composition book. It holds up well. I haven't had any pages fall out, and I made pockets on all of them. Everyone has a pocket. So it's fun, and you can do this. You can make it a glue book with pockets. You can just make it a junk journal. Composition books are some awesome stuff, guys. I'm telling you. So yeah, so that's Fluffette. All right, let me move her out of the way. Set her to the side. She's a little dusty. The other thing that I got at Walmart, I got a couple packs of notebook paper, and then I got, if any of y'all remember having this in school, the colored notebook paper. So again, idea notebook. All right, so let's put the idea notebook stuff to the side, and I probably am going to have to readjust the light. I know. Talk about Eileen. Oh my goodness. Let's see here. I don't want to get it too. That looks pretty good there. So thanks everybody for being here. So that's my haul over the weekend. I think I got the 9 little notebooks in sets of 3. I got the 5 composition books, 3 packs of notebook paper, the pack of paper clips. What else was on there? Oh, and a pack of just regular mailing envelopes, like 9 by 12 mailing envelopes. I think everything was under $15. So it was like really, good deal. Good deal. All right, so the next thing I want to show you is I did finish. I posted on Instagram. I haven't posted it on Twitter yet, or Facebook, my color Facebook thing, coloring folder album. But I did finish this, and I did go back and add another layer of paint in the background. I wanted it really dark blue, and it wasn't dark enough blue for me, so I painted the background again so that it's nice and dark blue. But I finished this one. Yeah, Suzanne said that teachers wouldn't allow her to use the colored notebook paper, the neon colored notebook paper, and ours I don't think would either, but we would use it to write notes. Write notes to our friends. We'd write notes on that paper. Yeah, thanks, Terry. So I finished this up, and again I posted on Twitter. I mean Instagram. I'll post it on Twitter later today. So finish that. And the background's a little, because I put paint, then pencil, and then more paint, it's a little not flat as I'd like it to be. It's a little, but it's okay. It almost gives it a little bit of it looks like a hand painted background. And I don't mind that because it gave it a different effect than my usual look because it had 2 coats of paint and some pencil. So, but I wanted it really a pretty blue, and so I really like how it turned out. Okay, so the paper holds up fine. It's not that here's the thing, guys. I never even, and it does, you can see it does kind of warp it just a little. In my Imagimorphia, Anamorphia, and Mythomorphia is probably the books that I use the most washes of, lots of watery washes on, and it's thin paper. But by the time I do the acrylic washes in those books and put pencil on top, it really isn't that warped. It does a little bit, and it gives it a little bit of a wave a little bit, but that doesn't bother me. It's never the paint that you have to worry about. Now, granted, you can't use Copics or alcohol markers on these double-sided thin papers, but but paint, it's not the paint, it's the water that you have to watch out for. Too much water. So anyway, so I finished that, and I'll post that picture later. Okay, so I want to see, hey CB, is Jen, she's there, she is Jen. Jen sent me, and she sent me a nice letter, sent me a long nice letter, and her coloring buddy colored me my page. Now it's hard to see, there you go. Her little coloring buddy, she printed out my, this is the picture I drew for you guys to color. And so let's just kind of, you can see where he colored on it. Isn't that so cute? I love that she gave him a copy to color on. So thank you, Emilio. It's so cute. And every paper is different in every book, Lena and everybody. I know, isn't that so cute? And she wrote me a nice letter, and she ordered it from the artist and had the artist sign it. And her name is Anastasia let's see, Koldareve. She's Russian. And I will put Jen gave me a link to her website, and it's called Mermaid Legends, or Legends About Mermaids. Now this book is big, and Jen had it in a huge envelope. It must have cost her a fortune in shipping. Let me get a ruler here. It is a spiral bound, and it is 12.5 by 12.5. It's 12.5 by 12.5. Let me maybe prop this up here. Let's see, so that the glare's off. There we go, a little bit. Just there's a little bit of a glare because it's white paper. So she says it's called either Mermaid Legends or Legends About Mermaids. So we're going to do a flip. Let's see, maybe I'm going to have to readjust because I have everything maybe if I turn this, hang on. Let me try turning this light off while we're doing the white paper. There we go, that's better. So it's huge. The book is huge. So we're going to color in this as well today, but I'm going to do a flip. So I know, so let's do a flip. So she had it signed to Dede from Russia with love, Anastasia. And enjoy and happy coloring comes in it. So, and I will put this in a note in my Jen letter. I will put that in the book. So, yeah. So, isn't this cool, guys? And then here's a blank page, and it's one-sided. It's one-sided, so as long as you put something behind it, you could use your Copics or alcohol markers. The paper is probably, I don't know how I'm feeling it, maybe 60 pound. I'm not sure. It's way thicker than paper, but it's not cardstock, you know. But it's a good weight, so it'll hold up probably to pretty much anything. And Copics, as long as you put something behind it, because Copics go through pretty much anything. So, you know, just be aware. And then here, I'm sure that says this book belongs to. So I'm going to just do a flip through here for you guys. And again, I think I'm fully in the camera. So do a flip here for you. Isn't it pretty, guys? Look at this one. She's talking to the dragonfish. I've seen these in the Atlanta aquarium. They are so cool to see. If y'all have never seen one of these before, look them up. Are we still here? I know, isn't it cool? And the jellyfish. So I'm sure you have to buy it directly from the artist website. I haven't been to her website, so but Jen bought it and had her sign it to me, which was so sweet. Thank you so much. Yeah, some of the detail is small. You could use gel pens, you know. No, I think she's actually goes this way. She's laying on top of a little, yeah, she's laying on top of a little shelf thing. I really like this one. I'm gonna pick one. We're gonna color one today. It won't be this one. Yeah, that's a good question. How did you hear about this book, Jen? That's a good question, Cheshire Cat. And then there's lots of room here. I mean, if you were a journaler, this would be awesome to do. You know, have it for journaling. Or here's the pirate one. Pirate girl. You buy it direct. Jen says you buy it directly from her. I like this one. We might be able to do this one in a day. Maybe I'll put a flag on this one. Because it has a nice big face. Oh, thanks. Jen just put a link in the, and I will, she did give it to me on the paper. I'll put it in the description box. I love this one too with the wings, the translucent wings. I might have to do this one because, you know, painting the background black like it's at night. Might have to do this one. Stars, planets. Might have to do this one. I'm trying to kind of keep it so it's not completely flashed out with the sun. She's hugging a little seahorse. Isn't that cute? Oh, I just love it. There's so many pages. I don't know how many pages. I need to count them. Because I can't, you know, I can't read it, you know. Let me prop this up just a tad. I don't know. No, that's not going to help. Just have to kind of hold it kind of still. There she is with a sea lion. Aw, thanks so much, Jen. That's so sweet. Let's see, did I miss one? Oh, it's just thick. And there's a baby one. Baby mermaid. And then there's, is this, I don't know, is it a double page? I think this is the double, yeah, this is the fold out one. Okay, so here. This one folds out to a big double page spread, which ends up being like 24 by 12, you know, 12 and a half. It's 12 and a half square. So this is over 20, like 25 inches here across, double page spread. And like she's going, no, I don't want that evil potion. It's like she's got a potion and she's going, no. So that's the middle there of the, let's go back over here. She's pretty too. They're all pretty. Here's like a silhouette profile. This would be cool to color all in black. You know, like on the edge. This all in like a, you know, like a silhouette. Hope y'all can see. I know the sun's bright. There she's got a little bouquet. Oh, isn't it great? Hey, Victoria. The details look tiny, but the book is so big. Exactly. It's not as tiny as you think. I mean, there's little tiny, you know, some little flowers and things, but overall, because look how big. Look. It's a big, huge book. I'm telling you. Jen sent it in this ginormous envelope. I didn't even know they made envelopes that big. This one's cool. It looks like she's all tattooed. That one's really pretty. Thanks, Terry. There she is with her love. Then here's three girls, three mermaids. And she's got like a little shell belt and a little like fishnet little skirt. So cute. Shells in their hair. Little fish swimming through. Then again, there's lots of room here for, you know, you could put a quote if you did calligraphy. This would be, and these would be so pretty framed, you know. You could frame these and you'd have to cut them down a little, but it has a little bit of an edge. You know, you can put them in those 12 by 12 frames. Then here's a giant sea horse. It's got like a horse head. And another silhouette. Isn't that cool, guys? So that's it, and it's all in paper. Even the cover is like just a little bit heavier cardstock, but well, actually no, I think it's the same. Is it the same? Yeah, it's the same. So it's all paper. There's no like hardback to it. So including, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hang on. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, and then the double page, 27, 28, 29, 30. I'm thinking there's probably 50. 31, 32, 34, 5. Hang on. 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 45. It looks like there's 45, unless I miscounted. There's 45. Suzanne goes, I'm ordering that book. Yeah. 45 pages. And it's spiral bound. Yeah, it's spiral bound. And it's all in, you know, it's not a hardback. So thanks so much, Anastasia, for signing it. And thanks, Jen, Reading with Pugs, for getting it for me. So awesome, so sweet. Thank you so much. So now I have to decide, do I want to do this one or do I want to do this one? I'm really feeling this one. But I really like her face too. And we could do her face in Copics. Or we could do her skin in Copics. As long, you know, I'll put something behind because it'll go through. Do y'all want to do the face? Do you want to do the face or the moon and, or this could be the earth actually. Which one do you want? The face or the other one? Yeah, spiral bounds are awesome for left-handed people. Yeah, everybody's saying that. We love the spiral bound for the left-handers. Do y'all want me to do the face? It looks like everybody's wanting the face. Everybody's wanting the face. Okay, so I'm gonna have to readjust. Let me readjust. Take off the Post-it. So thanks so much, Jen. Let me readjust the lighting here because it's bright and sunny out now, and it does flash it out. Let's see. There we go. Like that. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do her. Let me see, maybe if I put that in front, that would give me a little bit of a shadow and maybe get rid of some of the glare. That's better, I think. A little bit of... Okay. So, yeah, the face has it. So I'm going to get my Copic... my Copic Chows out for... These are my face colors. And some of these I bought individually, and then you can buy a set of 6, I think. And don't ask me which ones come in the set, but you can buy a set of 6 skin tones, and they're like about $35 at Michael's, but use a 40 or 50% off coupon. So, no, lots of stickles. You girls and your stickles. Maybe you might put some stickles. Okay, so now let me get a 12 by 12 sheet of cardstock here. To put behind. Oh, that's got some texture. I don't want anything with texture. Okay. Because I don't want to get any texture when I go to the color pencil part. Okay. Actually, I could tear it out of the book, really, because I will tear them out. I'll tear it out and put it in the in my ledger book, where I have my oversized coloring book, if y'all missed that here. My oversized coloring book pages go in my ledger, my 7 Gypsies ledger. I think it's 14 by 16 or something like that. So this is what I use to hold my oversized pages. If you have any questions, put them in caps. I'd love to see you do the silhouette picture. Yeah, I know. The one with her face or the one with the boy and the girl mermaid? All right, so now I got a piece of paper behind it because you know the Copics will go through. And I'm no expert with alcohol-based markers. Let me move some of my school supplies here so I can reach. Gotta finish this today. Okay, so I cleaned off my space to the side. Also, other than like the blending of the face or maybe her hair or something like that, you don't have to use alcohol-based, you know, Copic blending things. I'm going to use it because I want to blend her face well. But for little things like the stars and all, and the starfish, the bubbles or anything like that, you know, Just your Crayola Super Tip kids markers. They're water-based, but they don't blend. These will not blend like Copics or alcohol-based markers. I also have my watercolors. The thing about using different mixed medium, you just have to remember what you're using. So in other words, if you use watercolor in one area, then you go to add some water or something next to it. You got to know what you've used because you'll smear. If y'all remember last week we did that on the, I think it was a rabbit, on the little rabbit page, something I had water-based. I had the water-based or some watercolor something on it, and I touched it with the water brush and it smeared. So you have to know what you're using, okay, when you, whatever supplies you are going to go with. All right, so now I need a scratch paper for some color testing. And yeah, so we'll get crack-a-lack, and we're already an hour in, but we can do 2 parts. And Janet's not streaming, so I'm not, too worried about finishing out by 1. But okay, so I'm going to start with the lightest color. And again, trust me, guys, I'm no expert on alcohol-based markers, Copics, or anything. I'm learning and playing right along with everybody else. Bye, Marie. Hi, and bye, Marie. I didn't even see you come in. Hi, Mel G. Anybody else popping in? All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start by putting a base coat of this color on her skin, a light color. And one of these mermaids I'll do her with dark skin and with the darker Copics, because I like doing all different colors of skin. But I have to say I'm just not that proficient with markers yet. Hopefully, So I just want to start with just a base coat, just to get all the skin lightly colored. And I know there's some girls here that are actually Copic certified and use them all the time. I don't. But let me know if y'all, can see okay and everything. So I'm just putting a nice, just even coat. And I know that when you go to blend, you need a wet edge. I'm just right now just getting a color on all her skin, just kind of finding my way here. There's her fingers right there, her neck. I'm just trying, kind of finding all the areas. This will help me, like when I go to start doing blending, I can re-wet it and know where I'm going, because you want to be able to see where her fingers are and everything here. She's holding a shell. There's a finger. Copic certified, and I had nothing else to do those days. If they had a place, locally here where I could get Copic certified, I wouldn't care so much. It wouldn't be the certification that would interest me. It would be learning it all. Right? That's what I would want to do. I would love to do that. I mean, they probably have something like that in downtown Atlanta, but I'm not driving an hour in traffic to go get Copic certified. That's just me. I mean, if it was just one class, but that's part of the shell. If it was just one class, I probably would. But how many classes are there, Erin, to getting certified? Do you remember? Is it like a day, 2 days, a weekend? What is it? How many hours, let's say, or how many classes is it to get certified? The teachers travel close to a city. Yeah. I'm sure there's, like I said, I'm sure there's some in Atlanta, but I'm not going. I mean, I would do it one day. I would do it one day to fight the traffic, parking, and all that in downtown Atlanta, because that's probably where it would be, or surrounding area. 2 classes, a base certification and an intermediate certificate. Okay. Hi, Abby girl. Well, I could probably suck up the traffic for 2 classes. Depending on where it was. I'm always cautious of any, you know, print to make sure I'm not, especially with alcohol markers, that you're not smearing the ink. Sometimes they have both certification levels back to back. 4-hour drive, so it would just be one. Oh, okay. How long is one class, Erin? Like how long is each class? If there's 2 classes, like how long is a base certification? You'd probably want to, I don't know if you'd want to take them back to back, or do you need practice in between? You know, I don't know if you need practice in between. And also, guys, I never mind. It doesn't bother me, I should say. It doesn't bother me to, if I do something like with markers or watercolor, to go in there if I'm not happy with enough shading, to go in there with color pencil on top of markers, watercolors, acrylic washes, whatever. So I'm truly a mixed media coloring person. I will use whatever works. Whatever works. A few hours, like 2.5, and a break, not more than 3 for each. Totally entry level. Intermediate is a little more advanced, but the teachers handle it well if you do both. Okay, well that's good to know. All right, let's see. I think I got all of the skin. All right, so now what I'm going to do is, let me see. I'm going to get, and again, I don't use like 6 or 10 colors to blend. I only use a couple, 3 maybe. So let's get the 3 like this. The first one that I just did this was E000, 3 zeros. Then this one is E00, and then this one is E11. So I'm thinking, other than like some pink on her cheeks or something like that, I can probably just do these 3 colors. Although this pink color, let's see what that's like. It's a little darker than that one. This one's E93. I kind of like E93 maybe better than E11 because it's a little pinker. I think I'll do that. We'll go with E00, 3 zeros, E00 and E93, which is a little pinker color. Hey Lisa, good to see you. All right, so now I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go with the pinker color, and I'm going to do some shading, like under her eyes, on top of, where there's some shading. She has some, like, I don't know if she's crying. I guess she's crying. So I'm just going to kind of go around the eyes, and while it's still wet, I'm going to go with the E00, whoops, wrong end, and blend that in while it's wet on the edges. And then while that's wet on that edge, I'm going to go in with the lightest one and blend that in. Something like that. And we can go back in with another layer to darken it up, but I want to get it based in, So I'm going to go back with the pink, the E90, was it E93? Yeah. With some shadows. Then the medium one, and I say medium, it's of the 3 I picked. And while it's still wet, pull that edge out. Total, well, not complete total beginner. I mean, I've done a couple things, but pretty much. So there you go. There. Now I'm going to go ahead and shade some more, like up here in her hairline. I'm going to go ahead and put some of it into her hairline, because your hairline doesn't end like right there at your face. You'll see some of your scalp. And then And just doing little sections at a time so it stays wet on the edge. And just kind of keep blending it in like that. She's stung by a whatever she has in her hand. It looks like a conch shell. It looks like a conch shell with the creature kind of half coming out of the shell. Those slug things, you know. Okay, let's give her little divot and under her lips. And I think I'll do her lips pink. Then under her chin, let's just do that area while I keep it wet. Maybe a little right here on the sides of her nose. Not the darkest, but a little. That. Slugs don't sting. Yeah, well, I don't know. I say, I don't know what that is inside. You know, the creature. The mussel, the mollusk. Okay, all right. Well, I think I'll go ahead and do it on her fingers next. Let's do the shading on her fingers. Let's do like 2 at a time here so the edge stays wet. I know I'm kind of zoomed out, but I thought that way you could see the whole picture. Do y'all want me to zoom in some or what? I'm just going back and forth between the 3 colors. You can see it fine? Okay. All right, let's do this hand. Let's see, that's her neck right back there behind. We'll do that dark. And that's her finger here, here. Part of her hand there. Then behind her hand here would be shadowed a little. Don't want to go too far because I want to keep that wet edge. I need to go get me some coffee here in a minute. I made a pot before I hit record, and it's an hour in, and I haven't gone to get it. Just kind of carry this out a little. Very ethereal, yeah. And then we can darken it up even more. See, like here, You can layer them up. The more layers you put, the darker it gets. Gotta just keep blending it. And they are fun to use. I just haven't used them enough to really, you know, speak much about them. Do they lighten up? Yeah, they do lighten up a little. But I'm just trying to keep it going while it's wet. But yeah, they do. And different colors probably lighten or dark, you know, stay dark or whatever. Probably more so than some. I don't know. I just don't know enough about them, guys, for really to give any advice, you know. Y'all are kind of like seeing what I do here is what I'm, you know, learning myself. I'm just kind of trying to keep a smooth blend. Thanks, Terry. Nice shadage. All right, I'm just using the 3 because I don't want to confuse myself. I'm sure people that use Copics all the time could probably just whip out like 10 colors and shade, 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 shade. But you know, let's just take it as baby steps. I don't really want a shadow on her shoulder there, so let's keep the shadows down in here. I'll put some of this and then go into the medium color. Keep it dark down here and work it up light. As soon as I do her skin, I'm going to go run and get some coffee. Then I'll come back and see, I'm sure I want some more shading to it. But again, even if you just do this much, like we just did here, and then go in with pencils, you know, then so be it. It took us time to learn. You're doing amazing, Trust. Oh, thanks, Erin. That's sweet. But I am, you know, I gotta say now, you know, I'm used to using pencils and blending. So it's not like it's my first blending rodeo. It's just my first blend. Uh-oh, wrong one. It's just my first blending rodeo with mark. Well, it's not even my first. I've done a few, but not that many, you know. But blending, I'm used to blending, but just not with a lot with alcohol markers. And you know, I like my Copics. I like the Hoo Hoo Heroes. I just use whatever. It's just that for the skin, I have these that, you know, skin colors. Of course, you can always add pinks and shadows with some, you know, blues and purples. But I'm good at that with pencil. But, you know, I don't really want to throw too much purple and blue on here with markers. I might put some in with pencil. Totally helps you only learning. I had to learn coloring and do Copic medium at once. Time intensive, yeah. Okay, so I'm going to let this sit for a minute. And let me go run get some coffee. And I'll just give me a second. this down. Okay, 1 second. Okay. Okay. All right, if you have any questions, put them in caps. Let's see, now I'm going to go back to the darkest one that I have here, which is E93, and just do a little bit more shading. Just a little bit darker. And just a little bit of blend. Just go a little down the side of her face. A little bit more on her nose. Okay. Are you tired, Button? All right, now let's see. I think I'd want to do pink. I think I'll do pink lips and nails. Let's see. Let's just see here. That's a nice soft pink, and I'll blend with the E. So this one is RV23. So I'm going to do her nails, a pink. And her lips pink. And I'll keep it like right at the bottom. I want to keep a highlight, so I'll use this one to blend. Like that. Like that. Make sure I got all our nails there that are showing. Maybe, let's see, do I want to try a little pink on her cheeks? I think I will. Then I'll get the lightest color again and blend that. Whoops, wrong. Give her a little blush in her cheeks, like that. Oh, I see, Button. Well, try to nap while you're here. Jean does. Works for her. Okay, what do y'all think? Does that look okay? Probably need just the tiniest bit on her lids. And then I think I want her eyes to be, do I want them blue or green? Because I'm thinking of having her hair blue and green. you know, blues and greens in her hair. So I'm thinking her eyes maybe blue and green. And I have to test every color. I don't know what, you know. All right, let's see. That's a mint green. I don't really want mint green. I want like almost like turquoisey colors. You know, that's a maybe, you know, like lime green. There's a lime green. Maybe some lime green. You know what I'm tempted to use? I'm tempted to use my Mermaid markers. What do y'all think? You know, the Jane Davenport Mermaid markers? Because these are vibrant. Except for the eyes. That may be a little, well, I'd have to get a palette. Let's see here. Let's move this. I have to have a palette. Hey Eileen, welcome back. All right, so let's see. Let me get out the green, 2 greens, and the 2 blues. Okay, so if I'm going to do her eyes, green and blue, so I'll put out. Let me clean one of these spots. Here, hang on. She's definitely going to be a mixed media mermaid. It's got a baby wipe here. Clean a little spot. Okay, so let's put out a little bit of these are the Mermaid markers, Jane Davenport. This one is Seaweed. Let's put out Siren. This one is Byron Bay. And this one is Bottle Blue. Okay, they're, you know, mermaid colors. One eye blue and one eye green. That would be kind of cool. I was just thinking of blue into green. Now let me get my, I'm almost afraid to use my water brush because that may give me too much water in her eyes. Let me get my water brush out of my box. This is my carry around box. Okay. So let's first, I'm just going to pick up the light green and I'm going to go ahead and put her eyes all green. I'm not squeezing out any water. No squeezy. Squeezy, no squeezy. No, just using what water is on the tip. Okay. So put the green on. All right, and I use a Kleenex to keep my brush clean, my water brush clean. I just use a Kleenex. Okay, got a little, we'll watch the light here. Might have to darken it back down. Now, I'm going to take the turquoise color and on the tops of the eyes, like where there's be a shadow. Okay, there's still too much water. Okay, I have to dry this is what I'm going to have to do. Because there's so much water, it's just like soaking it down and turning the whole eye blue. So let me dry this. I want to be able to control that blend myself, not a wet into wet. So now just touch the top. See, now it's not moving. Now the blue's not moving. Whoops. Okay, now barely. I have to even take some back off. Could do this so easy with pencil, but okay, now let me dry that and then I'll put another layer of blue. Can y'all see? I'm scared to ask, but what is this right here? This is a water brush Prisma. It's a water brush. Here, let me also change the lighting. The sun is really, let me adjust. Is that a little better? Okay. So it's just the green, the lime green, which I didn't use out of this. This would be way too much dropping out. You put it on a tray so you can pick it up. Okay. And then I just put the lime green, dried it, then put some of the turquoise on the as a shadow, dried it, put another, dried it, and now I'm going to pick up just the, I mean, I wish you could see how little is on that tip of that brush. You can't even see. See how little is on there? It's the darker blue, and I'm just going to put it right under the lashes. And usually, guys, when I'm doing a color book page, I find that the black iris is not black enough, or the pupil rather. The pupil is never black enough. Now let that dry, and as soon as that's dry, I can go in there with black Sharpie pen, not a Sharpie marker, and blacken up the black, and also either use a Posca or a gel pen to get the white highlights brighter. Okay. And again, guys, let me see about, I don't want it to be, I'm trying not to let it go pink on me. Thanks, guys. All right, so now what I want to do is I want to use these same colors in her hair. All right, so I'm going to put out some more here. I'm going to put out some more, and I just squeeze a drop out there. And these are watercolors and a pen. So it's actual watercolor in here, some kind of water soluble inks, I'm not sure. And then let's see the darker green here. Let's get a drip of that. Some more turquoise, because I want to put all these colors in her hair. And I'll use my water brush. Okay, and then the dark blue. So I know those are the greens, these are the blues right there. All right, where's my water brush? Here we go. All right, so I think I'm going to start with the two greens. So let's just start with the light green. And I want her hair to be all the shades. Like not, I want it to be real watercolor flowy. So I'm going to just start with putting some greens. I'm not trying to stay in those little lines. I just want all, and I will have to get some more out. But I want to control it like this. I want to control it with the water brush. Whoops, I just touched the blue. Well, let's go ahead and go with the blue or the turquoise. Okay, let's get some more out. Some more green. Some more turquoise. And if I go over some of these little beads and baubles, I'm not really worried about it. I'm just going to work with it. I can go over anything with pencil. Trust me, you can go over anything with pencil. So just kind of flowy it. Okay, well, when I'm doing this with the watercolor, guys, I can't really watch chat. You can't, it's hard. I think of any medium that's, you can't watch chat while you're doing, it's watercolor. I think all this is hair back here. If any of it's the background, I'll just paint that in when we get to the background. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to the light green. I'm going to squeeze some water out because I want that kind of watery. And remember though, don't be scrubbing your water. If it starts getting too wet and you see your paper is starting to pill, stop and dry and then add another layer. Because it's the water that pills your paper, not the paint. I know I say that all the time. See, oh, that's her ears are there. I got to do, I think. Is that her ear and her ear? I think that's her ears there. So I've got to go back and do her ears. When I got in the shower, you were just starting the finger. We don't mess around, Jean. You know that. So I'm just going to kind of take a minute and kind of fussy in here. Although, like I said, if it gets on any of this other stuff, I'll just pencil that in. I'm not really worried about going over one of these little baubles or, is that part? No, that was a part. Because I go over that with pencil if I need to. So I'm just going to get now going to kind of blending it all in with the green. And it takes a minute. I mean, I am kind of hurrying, and again, y'all never have to hurry when you're doing yours. But, you know, I am trying to get it done. Can kind of go around and add a little darker green here and there. But really, I need to dry it before I do that because I don't want my paper to pill. So let's just go ahead and get the light green all the way around first. And our hair ends right here. Right here. It's much more vibrant than it's looking because it's flashed out. I probably should zoom in. Maybe, well, let me just knock the light back again. It's so sunny. Just get a nice base of green and turquoise on the whole thing. And then we'll go back and add more depth. And again, I think that's her ear there. And you don't have to have watercolor brushes like, you know, these Jane Davenport. You can just use watercolor. You know, 2 or 3 shades of teal, lime green, green, whatever. You don't have to have these brushes to do this. Watercolor would be just fine. Thanks. You like the colors? Yeah. It's just kind of fun and convenient and, you know, handy to have them all ready for you. But again, I'm not going direct to paper with them because they're so concentrated. I don't want a solid teal or a solid green. I want it all flowy like this. So it's, if you want to do that, you need to put it on a palette. Let's see here. I think that will be green in there. And I'm not squeezing any water out of the brush. If you want to squeeze any water into the mix, do it on the palette, not on your paper. Okay, I need a little more of the lime green. Uh-oh, I just splattered. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'll have to fix that with... Don't splatter. I just put a big... Well, I think I just put a ring on her finger. All right, we'll turn that into a ring. I just splattered when I put the lid back on. Gotta watch those things. Or turn it into some of these jewels. Okay, moving up. Yeah, I love the colors too. And they're going to be more vibrant because this is just the first layer. Almost this whole background is her hair up in here. Around all this coral here. And again, Jen, Reading with Pugs, Jen sent me this book from a Russian artist, Anastasia. And I think you can only get her book through her website, which I will put a link in the description box. Jen put a link in there if y'all want to put that link back in. Anybody that kept it, put the link back in the chat. So if anybody wants to know where to buy it. Okay, I need a little bit more lime green. Let's be careful not to splash onto the page. When I recap it, put a little water. So I'm working on a palette right here. Helps to see even, you know. Oh yeah, I have oopsies all the time. But I don't let it, you know, I mean, it's got to be something really bad, or if it's on a commission or something. The worst oopsies I've ever had are on calligraphy pieces. Commissioned calligraphy pieces. You do not like to start calligraphy pieces all over again. Those are some bad whoopsies. Something like a splot right there can be turned into a ring or a bubble or painted out with white paint. You can't do that with, you know, calligraphy on parchment. I mean, there's a little bit of things you can fix, but for the most part, oops. Oh, this is hair too, I think. Maybe, maybe not. It's going to be in my world. Because you're the boss of your color book. And I'm not sure what background color. I love black in the background. It just, to me, I love black. It just makes everything so contrasted and nice. All right, so there now. Let me go ahead and dry this. A little bit of excess water there. Okay, now I want to go back to her ears. Let me just get the pink one. Just color that in right there where her ears would be. She's got shell earrings on. Okay. Now I think I do want to do the black background. Okay, well, let's finish the hair. This is looking pretty mythical. Yeah, I like the colors. All right, so now I'm going to go back in with some blues and the teals, and I'm going to just start darkening some areas here. And I'm going to squeeze out some water, so I have the inks and I have some watery stuff here, so I can kind of thin it out if I need to. But this is where I'm going to start getting some of the darker blue and teal in some areas. Again, if it gets real oversaturated, then take a minute to dry it. I need some more of the teal color. A little more of the green. You'll see. Okay. A little more of the lime green. Keep a few highlights, but I do want a second coat pretty much over everything. Thanks, Lindsay. Thanks, guys. Some more green here. And back in with some teal. Just gonna keep working my way back back around. A second layer. Because it is like, you know, it's watercolory. So if you want it darker, you have to put another layer, but make sure you dry in between. Hope y'all can see. I know I'm not that zoomed in like sometimes I am. And then going back and forth to the teal, add a little bit darker swirls in there. And then blend in with some of the lime green. Another row of teal in there. Okay, I can tell that's getting wet enough. I gotta be careful. I gotta dry that before I put more there. Package left here. So you should get it. Oh! I don't know if my mailman's been around yet. What time is it? No, I don't think he's been around yet. I haven't noticed if he has. Oh, if it comes today, CB, I'll open it while we're here. Or at least on part 2. And this is getting a little out of lines up here, but I plan on painting the background in, so. I really should pull my sleeve up so I don't get my sleeve in this. I'm excited, CB. Are they cards? Everybody loves your cards. Thanks, Lisa. Hope you're having a good summer, Lisa. I mean, from what I've seen, you are. Always good to see you. Lisa's kind of a quiet one, but when she talks, people listen. Oh, good, 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 good. We love your cards, CB. I love showing everybody's stuff when I can. All right, let's see. Let's squeeze out a little more green here. No, there's really no rhyme or reason to how I'm doing this. I just kind of make sure I have blue and green all swirling in. You know. It needs a little bit more blue right here. Okay, more blue down here. Gotta squeeze out some more turquoise here. But I'm trying not to open and close these lids because they do splatter. I never noticed it before till you splash on your page. But yeah, they kind of splatter when you take the lids on and off because they're tight. Darker blue in there. And I know everybody wants stickles, so we'll probably put some stickles on her. That'll be into part 2 though. I don't know how far we'll get today. But I want to show you enough so that this can be considered. It's not going to probably be done, but it'll be far enough along where you can know what to do if you're coloring something like this, whether it's this mermaid or another mermaid, you know. Welcome back, Dot. All right, let me dry this. Maybe put one more little bit of layering on it. Yeah, I saw Xandra's picture of all her stickles in her little rack. It's like she has a stickle store. And you really have to put stickles at the end. Winkastella dries immediately, but stickles, it doesn't. So, like, I don't want to put stickles in her hair till, like, we're done with her. Because then, you know, you can't touch anything because it has to, you know, dry. Okay, so let me get in here with a little bit darker blue and just go in here with some certain a little bit more shadows. Yeah, the paper's holding up good. It's not even hardly buckled at all. So now I'm going to get in here with some of the darker, and maybe follow some of the extra lines. It'll kind of get rid of the lines if I kind of follow along with them. Some thin strands, you know, right along the color book lines. And you can also, once all your little baubles and everything and jewelry and shells are all colored in, then you could sweep across everything. Now, depending on what you use, if you do your baubles in something watercolory, then you might smear that. It'd probably be best to, you know, swirl something across not on top of something that's watercolored. But I always like a few little flowy hairs coming across everything, you know. But that depends on what you've used, because you'll smear things underneath. So you can see it's another layer. Just make sure you dry in between. Can y'all see how it just every layer is more depth? Y'all watch for the mailman here, CB. Roll my sleeve up here. This is fun, but it, you know, it does take a bit of time, as you can see. But that's one of the things I like about doing real-time videos, is you see that it's not it's not as quick as, you know, sometimes you see a speeded up video and you go, wow, that's pretty quick. I know, I love the colors. Yeah. So just some tealy colors, some lime green, some regular green, and just keep layering. Just kind of following the hair lines that are there. The sun went behind a cloud. And if y'all are watching this video here on YouTube, the recording, the bunny picture I showed earlier from the Minuet de Bonheur, whatever you say it, I did record. I mean, that is recorded. But last week when I was doing it, YouTube kept breaking in and out. So there was like 5 or 6 or 7 parts. Well, I reduced it down. I saved like 3 parts on YouTube. So if you want to see those, the bunnies were already colored, but the background and stuff, if you want to see that, there's 3 30-minute parts on YouTube. I mean, Ustream. I didn't upload them because they're kind of like in between. There'd be like 10 minutes or 5 minutes, and then I'd get cut off and have to restart and all that. So I didn't upload those little bits. But if you want to see some of the coloring done, it's over on Ustream. For a while anyway. Dede, how do you decide what to do in watercolor and what to do? I don't know. It just depends. And it got dark here again, guys, with the sun. Hang on. I just think about what's going to work. And as soon as the sun comes back out, I'll have to, go back and turn this back down. I guess I go into the project thinking, unless I want to do something specific like a certain pencil or something, and even then, I'm really never committed to saying, oh, I'm only going to use this or that. I just go into the project thinking I'll use whatever works. And so if I do a little bit here and I say, oh, I need a little bit more light color, or I need some like highlights in her hair, I'll go in there with a light teal color on top of the watercolor. I just like doing mixed media color book pages. So that's just the way I roll. Okay. All right, so I'm going to stop on her hair for now. I think I could probably go in here and add a little bit more darker areas, and I might do that later. Maybe with pencil. But at least I got her hair kind of blocked in. And it took like 3 layers of watercolor. Of those Jane Davenport. This is what I've been using on her hair, is these Jane Davenport Mermaid markers. But I'm not using them straight from here. I'm putting them on a palette and adding water. Just squeezing out water like that. And mixing them here. And then this is where I clean my brush off on just a Kleenex as I go. I know it was, Connie. Okay. Thanks, Flint, Rebecca. Prisma, will you do the starfish and shells in watercolor pencil or never know? Yeah, I mean, I can think about what I'm going to do here now, but have I planned out, oh, okay, so I'm going to do this and that, I'm going to do this in Copics, I'm going to do that. No, I don't plan it like that. It's just more fun for me just to do whatever looks like it'll work. Yeah. Hey, Mirror Cat. Okay, let me dry this. And see, I really want the background black. There's not a lot of background, but I really want it in black because I love black backgrounds. It just gives it such a dramatic contrast. Completely arbitrary is totally a viable answer. Thanks, Erin. Hey, Miss Vicky B. What color book? It's a new one that Jen Reading with Pugs sent me. Let me find the cover here because there's no real cover. It's just, there we go. It's a Russian artist, Anastasia Koldareve. And it's translated as Mermaid Legends or Legends About Mermaids. And I did a flip at the beginning, Miss Vicky. And hi, by the way. You have to order it from the artist. And the girls are putting links in there for you right now. There's links right there. And I'll put a link in the description box. I know. I did a flip earlier. Okay, so I'm thinking I want black background. And again, guys, I'm going to end up tearing these out. And they will go into my, ledger book, oversized color book pages. So I think what I'm going to do, and I've got a piece of paper behind because we did Copics on her skin. See how it went through? It is one-sided, so that's fine. But be aware that Copics will always go through. And we do have a little splotch there. I'll just turn that into one of these little baubles here. Okay, so I think I'm going to go ahead and do that. Let me move this out of the way. My stuff here, make a space. Let's move the... Got a little bit of water on my desk here. Let's clean that up. So when I do black backgrounds, I use acrylic paint. So, and I just use craft paint. I like Americana, but just whatever craft paint. I'm going to make sure there's nothing on the bottom of that. I'm just going to squeeze some black paint into a little... And this is big, Miss Vicky. It's 12.5 by 12.5. These pages here, they're big. It's a big book. Okay, Abby, thank you. Make sure the Copics don't go through the set. Yeah, that's what I have. I have a paper here. I have a piece of paper here behind it. And you should do that with anything. Even if it's not Copics, it's color pencil, whatever, you should always put something behind your page. All right, so I'm going to squeeze out some black acrylic paint. And when I do paint, when I use acrylic paint to paint the backgrounds, let's see if this brush is... No, I think I need a different... Well, maybe for part of it. I need a little pointier brush. I don't add water. Don't add water. I gave Cam a bunch of my brushes when he was here. That's too big. Let's see. See if this one will work. I don't add water. Now, every now and then I might have to wet my brush because if I'm under lights or if I'm sitting here for a long time, the paint starts to dry. But for the most part, don't add water to your background paint. Okay, so we'll see how far I get with this. And again, this may take a while, and I might say, okay, I'm going to stop on this because it's taking too long. But I'll do some at least. Let me get around her hair and around the edges. And if you can't get real tight in some of the spaces, then get those tight areas with pencil or a Sharpie pen, not a Sharpie marker, the Sharpie pen, which I found does not go through most. I've never had it go through any color book pages, I don't think. But let me show you what it is here that I'm talking about. I know I got one in here because I was just using it. Let's see. In my box of sketch stuff that I've been using for my 30-day sketching. This is a Sharpie, and it says Sharpie pen. Like this. It's just like a technical, you know, like a micron kind of thing. And you can get in tight areas with this. Here comes the sun. Oh, well, this is a piece of cardstock I have behind here. But yeah, you do want to make sure that you're protecting your pages with Copics or alcohol markers, especially. So the sun's going to keep flashing in and out, guys. We'll just work with it. I have the blinds closed, but it's still. Those are some little baubles there, some kind of sea something. And I did get a little bit on her skin there. I'll go back with pencil and fix that. The green, some of the green touched her skin right there. I'm hooked on I love painting the backgrounds. It's my favorite thing. I've done it since the very beginning of color booking that we've done here. I'm not sure the very first color book we did on Ustream, it could have been Doodlers Anonymous, but from day one I have used, literally from the very first color book. Now, I mean, let's just put it this way. I mean, I colored as a kid, don't get me wrong. But since doing adult color books, I've used acrylic paint in them. Since the first color book, adult color book that we started here. I love acrylic paint. And the main reason, other than like a nice flat background, is you can use color pencil over it. That's the, and I know I've shown y'all a whole bunch of times. Maybe I should show it again. Get this edge here. I'll do a little demo here. See all the contrast? I'll do a little quick thing here. I'll show you once again. So here's some black paint. Just acrylic craft paint, right? Now let me get a black pencil. Here's, let's just say you colored in the background with black pencil and you wanted it nice and dark as your paint. You can do that. There's nothing wrong with that. But yeah, I think the first, I don't know if it was, now I have a whole bunch of the color books, the Dover ones. But I bought them for like reference material and clip art type things. I didn't buy them for color booking. You know what I mean? So I have tons of Dover ones back from when Dover was like a clip art. Even though some of them are called color books, I never colored in them. They were just for references. Pirate ships and castles and, you know, things like that. You know, for reference material, not for coloring. I'm trying to think back to the first one we did on a show, and I'm thinking it was probably Doodlers Anonymous, but I can't swear. It was either that or it was back in maybe Imagimorphia. No, Doodlers Anonymous was before Imagimorphia. Kind of right in there. Okay, so here's what I want to show you. Now let me get a white. I've got to make sure your paint's dry, and that's true anywhere, okay? Make sure your paint's dry before you do any kind of penciling, no matter what kind of paint it is. All right, so now I got my white Prisma. Now I'm going to show you. I'm going to bear down as hard as I can on top of the pencil. So remember, this is the acrylic paint. This is the pencil. So look, I'm bearing down as hard as I can, and it's smearing it out, but do you see hardly any white on there? Do you see with the white? It did pick a lot of the pencil up, so always make sure you clean your pencils, by the way. Okay, here's the paint. I'm going to put hardly any pressure at all. Look, goes right over the paint. It'll go right over the paint to the point where you can almost get it back pure white. Can't do that with pencil. So pencil over paint. See, I'm barely pushing on there. That's the benefit of the paint. Back to the paint. So if I want to do any kind of glows or like lantern glows or sun, planets and nebulization of planets or anything like that, stars, any kind of shading or blending or anything like that, if it's paint, I can do that. You just cannot do the same with solid pencil that you can do with a flat black or flat acrylic paint, no matter the color. Oh, she's in the cope apartment. I recorded it, Connie. I recorded it. And like I said, I probably won't do all the background now because it'll take a while. It'll probably take, I don't know, at least an hour to do all the background. Maybe longer. But I want to just show you what it looks like and, how I do it. And I will go all the way to the edge. I'll go all the way right off the edge. And I might even blend in some waves into her body here. Here's what I don't like. I don't like a line at the bottom of a skin. Let's see, where's my, let me see. I think it's in my ledger. Where I did, let me tell you the book. I'm going to show you here. Where's the book? Here we go. So out of this book, the Linda Ravenscroft Fairy and Fantasy, I didn't like how it ended, so I'm going to get in my ledger here where I keep my oversized color book pages. I didn't like the edge, so let me show you here. Of one of them. Which one was it? This one? Yeah. So I didn't like this. It had a straight ended edge, so I kind of, painted it in so it wasn't a flat line. And I'll do that probably with this, maybe some water splashes. I don't want a black line right there. So we'll see. Okay, I'm going to turn it sideways, guys, so I can get up in here. And not just reach over. See all this. Let me pull my background paper out. There's the sun. So what I'll do is with the paper behind here. Now, if you do put a paper behind your painting and you're painting all the way to the edge like this, and you want to paint like right off the edge, this is the best way to get a nice clean edge. However, don't shove this while it's wet back up underneath, because, well, it's not going to matter so much because it's one-sided, but you'll be getting paint on the underside if it's wet. Just be aware of those edges, and that's true whether you're doing your what do you call it, a collage or painting, anything like that in your mixed media. That's still wet. Okay, Cheshire. All right, hope everything goes well for you. Take care. Thanks for stopping in. So again, if there's little tiny areas, you can get in there with the brush. But if it's, tricky, get in there with a pencil or your Sharpie pen in those little tiny areas, or get a smaller brush. So what's everybody working on? Before I hit record, I was talking about a little bit more about the Society of Idea Collectors. Working on some things for that. I have a couple of commission portraits that I'm working on. And as soon as I'm done with those, I'm taking at least a month off. I don't think I've taken any time off of commission portraits since I started doing them again. 4 years. So I'm taking a break from commission portraits at least for a month. I don't know if I can stand it any more than that, but so just saying, I'm going to finish the ones that I have going. I have 2. Yeah, I think I just have 2 left that I'm working on. I'm working on a person and I'm working on a dog. And if you're here and you know who you are, those are the last 2 that I'm going to do for at least. I'm going to take off the rest of the summer and work on some other projects that I want to do. Yeah, some of them might not have recorded too. I don't know, Aaron. Yeah, I don't know when I did the Doodlers Anonymous, because they did a profile on me on Doodlers Anonymous, and that was pretty early on in the color booking. And I don't think that wasn't before I started uploading to YouTube. So I do want to do another Doodlers Anonymous. I really do. It's one of my favorite color books. I love Doodlers Anonymous because there's 90-something artists in it. I'm going to turn it upside down, guys. There's 90-something artists in the Doodlers Anonymous, and it makes it so fun because there's such a variety of artists. There's no 2 things are alike, Working in the Linda Ravenscroft. May, you are working in Linda Ravenscroft book 2? Yeah, I've got book 3. Miss Vicky, I know you're working on one book July. I am working doing the it's sketchbook summer is the hashtag. And you're supposed to fill a whole sketchbook back and front in a month. I'm working it, but it's not going to happen. I'm not going to fill it. I have too much other art that I'm doing to fill a separate sketchbook in 1 month. I'm working at it on downtime, but even so, it's not going to get filled. But I'm still working in it, and I'll keep working in the sketchbook, but it's not going to get done in July. Victoria is working in Nikki Burnett's Spellbinding Images Grayscale Volume 2. Yeah, button. So anyway, back to the doing the portraits. I'm going to take a break from them for the rest of the summer anyway, which that's not that long, a month. Okay, so now my brush is getting a little crusty with paint, so I'm going to clean it out. And it'll still be like damp, but I'm not adding any water to my paint. CC is working on summer sketchbook, practicing calligraphy. Nice. Yeah, I'm not going to finish it. So anyway, Miss Vicky is doing one. What it is, I haven't done it, and I really haven't read up on it, but from my understanding, from seeing other people do it, a lot of planner girls, Miss Vicky B, and other planner girls have tons of planners. Now, I have lots of books. I have lots of idea books, and like I showed you, Miss Vicky, my closest, well, maybe not the closest, but this is my Adorable, and these were made by Sister Woman Jonna, and it's an idea book. You know, it's one of my idea journals. But anyway, so what they do is, because they keep so many planners and or idea books, in July they try to stick to one. They move into, and they call it moving into. You move into one book for the month of July. Have I got this right, Miss Vicky? You move into one book for the whole month. And just hashtag it in YouTube, guys. You can find lots of videos, and Miss Vicky included. Miss Vicky B, I should say, Miss Vicky B. Book is plain in mystical menagerie. Happy to color again. Oh, good book. So I'm just working my way around the edges here. I guess I could get back in here a little bit more. Miss Vicky says, yes, you are correct, but each year we add to the challenge. So we have added working on a project, and this year it's go big or go home, okay? So every year it's a different project, right? I mean, you don't continue from the last year, you just start a new one. So does that mean you're using a huge planner? Like, Miss Vicky, did you get that Seven Gypsies ledger? The one that's like 16 by whatever. This year I'm trying to do pretty planning, but I've not been successful. I think I'm 2 videos behind on yours, Miss Vicky, so I don't know what your current. And I'm just going to go right to the edge here, because this will end up being torn out, guys, so I'm not worried about getting in between. In some of my other Canson mixed media books back in the day, I'd make sure I painted in between, because I couldn't stand this white edge. Like, you know, when you do a journal page and you paint all the way down like this, and you got that white right there. We add something new because some folks don't want to disrupt their planning but want a challenge. Have you seen the ledger? The big ledger book? Miss Vicky, do I need to show it to you, or have you seen it? You've probably seen it online. You keep up with all that stuff. I think I'm going to go right in between there. I'm going to get some of the insides of these hair folds. And then all these bubbles. And sometimes when they're real tiny bubbles like this, I don't paint around them, because I'll just add more. After I'm finished painting, I'll go in and add my own bubbles if I want more, or stars or planets or whatever I put. So a lot of times I don't follow the little tiny bubbles and dots and stuff. I just paint over them and go back and add them wherever I want to. That would be hilarious. Planning is in the 16 inches planner. Well, when she said go big or go home, I thought maybe they all moved it to a huge book. Miss Vicky says, it's hard with all the stickers and things that people use. I just don't think I'm girly enough. You want to see it anyway? Okay. All right, I'll show it to you. What I'm using it for is, and I haven't done my listing yet, Miss Vicky, is I'm going to use my ledger for eventually listing at least all my color books, if not all my art books, along with keeping all my oversized color book pages, because you know, if I do oversized color book, or if I do color book pages that are not part of like a series, like I use Game of Thrones as an example. The Game of Thrones, they all need to stay in the book unless I make a book about just that. But all my other stuff I tear out of my color books and put them in a 3-ring binder. Well, some books, like the Linda Ravenscroft or this one, this Anastasia Mermaids, they're oversized, and you can't put them in, you know, 8.5, 8 by 10, 8.5 by 11, whatever it is, binder sleeves. They won't fit in a binder. Even a scrapbook binder, some of them are taller than 12. So I wasn't sure how, I was going to go with the scrapbook binder as a alternative. But when I came across the ledger, at first I thought the ledger was post-bound, and so I didn't want it because I don't like post-bound anything. I don't mind ring-bound anything, but I don't like post-bound. So I didn't really pay much attention to it. But then when I had a 50% off coupon at Michael's, I said, well, let's look at that again. All right, let me stop right here for just a minute. Let me clean my brush up. So what I'm going to use is for pages like this one that are 12.5 by 12.5, or my Linda Ravenscroft, which I forget what it's called, A something, you know, in UK. Let's see, what is it? Let me get my... So this one, it's like 8.5 by almost 12, just shy of 8.5 by 12. So I can't put this in my 3-ring binder. So it would have to go either in the scrapbook binder or now my ledger. So let me just set this right up here. So the ledger, let me get the paper that came. I did keep the paper that came with it because people ask about it. So this is the wrap that comes around it, and it's 16 by 12, and it's got 80 vintage pages. And what that means is the pages look tea stained, coffee stained. And it's got a nice faux leather on the edges and on the whole back. See that? It's like a suede, but it's a faux suede. I'm not sure what it is. And then it's got the strap that comes around to close it. Okay, so that's what it looks like. And this is all canvas. This is like a linen canvas, and it just looks so cool. But I thought it was post-bound, but it wasn't. It's just a book of papers in there. So that's what sold me on it, because I don't like post-bound. Even in scrapbooking, anything, I don't like post-bound. So what it is on the inside, this book belongs to, and a date, and it's got a faux leathery, a faux vintagey paper on the inside, and then all the pages are like vintage ledger paper. And see how they look tea stained and spotted? So I think what I'm going to use it for is ledgering all my color books and art books. And I think I might have enough paper for that. I don't have enough for all my books, but I should have enough for my art books and my color books. I know. So this is what I'm doing with it. So I'm putting my large oversized, like this is the Serene pages. This one's not done, but see how they're oversized? Like this page is 13.5. So it's not going to fit in any sleeves. So I'm just setting them in here for now. I'm just keeping them in here for now. And so all my oversized pages are in here. And sorry it got a little bright again, guys. The sun came back out. So yeah. Here's the one that I drew for everybody to color. And if you do like this page, we just did this in 2 hours on a Saturday, but it's on my blog and inkiwell.blogspot.com. If you want a copy of it, you can go print out a copy. So everybody was coloring that. And so these are a little smaller, but they're still too big to put in a sleeve. The Ravenscroft girls. So that's what I'm using the ledger for now. I haven't had time to start cataloging my art books and color books, but that's kind of what I have planned for that. All right, so let's bring her back down here. Hello, Beth. Yeah, oh, well, good. You've been watching me on YouTube for months? Well, thank you for watching. I think I've commented to you before. Welcome. Arctic Elizabeth. Hey, Mama 4. How you doing? Hey, Tam. Haven't seen you in a while. Hey, Packer Die. Yeah, Packer Die, are you doing the one book planner thing like with Miss Vicky Bees does? So right now, guys, I'm just kind of painting some of the background. We have about 20 more minutes on this segment because you know, just right at 3 hours, a little under 3 hours. I like to stop the video myself and save it so that we don't take a chance on losing the recording. So we'll do another part after this. But I wanted to get far enough on it so that you could see. We did her in Copics. Then we used the Mermaid markers. I want to make sure not cover up the artist's name there. But I think I'm going to do some splashy water or something down here on her. I started but did 0 planning in July because we have very unplanned summers. Well, that's all right. You have such a planned life with those kids, Packer Die, that not planning in summer is really probably good for you, you know? So, coloring some of these hair openings. Thanks, Beth. I'm getting farther along than I thought I would in an hour as far as the background. So again, this is the I think it's translated. I'm looking at Jen's paper. Mermaid Legends or Legends About Mermaids. Anastasia, how do we pronounce it? Koldareve. I'll put a link, and the girls have been putting links in the chat. So if you want to go, you have to buy it from her. That's where Jen got it. And Jen had the artist sign it to me. It was so sweet. Thanks again, Jen. I'm really enjoying it. I'm really enjoying the 12.5 by 12.5 size. Nice big pages, you know? Thanks, Mel. All right, so I think I'm going to stop on the background and do a couple of other little areas. Like I want to show how I'll do any kind of the background or anything like that. Maybe a shell or two, which again, don't be afraid to mix in some markers, water-based markers, or your Copics, or any of it, paint, pencils, you know, mix it up and make it fun. Like some of these chains, I'll probably use my Pentel gel pen, gold gel pen for the chains. Or silver, maybe they're silver, rusty and silver, I don't know. You got the set of skin tone Copics, but when I went to try one, it started running out of ink. Running out of it? Well, then you got a defective one, Connie. You need to take it back. It shouldn't be running out. I don't know how, did they store it funny, or you just got a defective one? I definitely take it back. Yeah, I try to post everything I finish on Twitter, Instagram, and my Facebook color book album. Here's the one that we finished, and I did post this on Instagram. I haven't posted it on Twitter yet. But here's the bunny that we did last week. And again, Ustream kept disconnecting me last week, so there are some multiple parts of this on Ustream, but I didn't put them on YouTube because there was like, I'd color for about 30 minutes and then disconnected for 10 or 5, so, and it just got dark again. But anyway, this is on Instagram, and I'll put it on Twitter later, and Facebook. And that's in the Minuet de Bonheur, which I think is translated Dance of Happiness. Okay, so I will finish all the background. Let me just hit this with the heat gun to make sure that the paint's dry. Hi Lisa Kauai, I guess in Hawaii. Welcome. Hey, Yee. Husband started. Yeah, Yee, have you been traveling across the states? I know Yee was going to travel after her husband retired. Haven't seen you for a month of Sundays. Here are all the 7 Gypsies products. Oh, good. Eileen just posted. Go look on the Michaels website if you want to see all the 7 Gypsy products that they have. Thanks, Eileen. Miss Enabler. So, splot here from the Mermaid markers. And her skin, this is all in Copics. And I kept her light, except for her cheeks. Her eyes are blue and green. I think I want to do the water coming out of her eyes. I think I want to do that blue and green too, like her hair. So I still have blue and green here. Get my water brush. So I'm going to go ahead and do green. Let's go ahead and do, oh, that's turquoise. I need another Kleenex. Let's squeeze out a drop of the green. I've got to be careful not to splatter. All right, so I'm going to start by putting all green on the little water droplets or tears. Okay, now I'm going to dry that before I put the blue. And her eyes could have another layer of blue too. So now I'm going to get the turquoise color and add just a little bit more blue to her eyes. It's kind of sunk in with the water drying. And I do want to shade her the white pupils. I usually do that with slate blue. We traveled all over the Midwest and Northwest, but the last 3.5 weeks of the trip we had to go back. Oh, you had a family situation. Oh, I'm sorry that you had that happen. I hope you all get to go back out at some point. Might have to get in there with a little pencil. It's not quite dark enough inside her eye. Let me dry this. And it did kind of smear a little bit. I don't know if I can kind of wet that and get it back up. Probably not. I'll have to do that with pencil. Put some peach color right there where it kind of ran a little bit. So let me get a couple pencils here. Got just a few minutes before we have to save this video and go on to another part. Need to get those Davenport watercolor markers. Yeah, they are. They're very, very concentrated. Michael's has, well, when they're not out of stock. Okay, so I think I'll get, let me get a lime green. I want this lime. Let's see. I think I want this light lime. And a white and a teal colored. I want this one. I might want, I think I'm going to go with the peacock green, which is a dark teal. All right, let me sharpen these real quick. There's a, yes, I know, we knew that there's a drip on her finger. I said I'm going to change it into either a ring or, see these little dots everywhere of some kind of jewel? We're just going to go over it with that. And I can also, paint it out some too. And I can probably even, go over it with pencil. But I'm going to turn it into one of those dots. Okay, so now, oh, I need peach. Okay, so right along her eyes here, I got a little bit of a smear out from the teal color. I'm just going to kind of go around that a little and make it almost like, oh, I meant to do that. Every time I say that, I think of Pee-wee. Have y'all seen Pee-wee Herman? He crashed his bike. I meant to do that. Did I show y'all the, I don't know if I have it. Let me see if I have it on here. I showed it on Twitter. Hubster got a shirt for his birthday when he had the surprise birthday party. Someone gave him this t-shirt. Let me show it to you. One of the relatives. I think probably find it fastest on Twitter. Let me go to Twitter. You were referring to watercolor markers over? Yeah, these is what I'm talking about. The watercolor markers. They're the Mermaid markers, the Jane Davenport ones. Hang on, let's go to my media, to profile, media. I want, because I know I tweeted that shirt. I'm pretty sure I did. Had to refresh. Welcome back, Sassy Pants. Let's see. Scrolling. I put a lot of stuff on. I post a lot. Here it is. It's wrinkled. The shirt was wrinkled. So someone gave him a moon pie, RC Cola, and this t-shirt. I'm a loner, Dottie, a rebel. If y'all ever watch. And then there's a moon pie, and there's an RC Cola right there. I'm a loner, Dottie, a rebel. Pee-wee Herman. Okay, so now I'm going to take my peacock green, which is really a dark turquoise, and I'm going to do some shadowing, a little bit of extra shading on her eyes and on these drips, her tears. Then I'll take the lime green and blend, because those are the colors that I used in her hair. And I'll blend in her eyes too. And I'll bring it up close so y'all can see. And then maybe just a touch of white highlight in the lime green, just to make her eyes sparkle just a little bit more, like an extra highlight in her eyes. There we go. Now we're cooking. Yes, Pee-wee's big adventure. So anyway, that's her eyelash. I think that's a long eyelash, but you can always go in there. Like I said, I use a Sharpie pen, and if you want the pupils to be real black, Or if you want some extra eyelashes, I'll add a few extra lashes really long. Maybe a couple on the bottom too. Because you're the boss of your color book, you can do whatever you want. All right. Oh, I'm going to do a little bit in the corner of the eye. And then what I usually do is I like a little bit of shadow. I don't know if you'll be able to see it when I do it. And I don't know why I keep getting my little nubs here. I have full-on colors of these, but they're just handy. Okay, so look, let's just see if you can tell the difference. All right, so look at the tops of her eyes with no shading in the whites of the eyes. Now I'm going to take my little bit of, just the tiniest bit of slate blue, and it's like where her eye, the eyelids would cast a shadow on the whites of the eye. Can you see that? See where I put a little bit of slate blue, like right under, oops, right under the eyelids there? It just gives it a little bit more realism. I know, I love the greens and blues too. And again, if you get in here and you think, well, I really want a few extra hairs, go in here with the, you know, go in here with your pencil and add some more, or follow along the black lines to make them not so black, and, you know, do a little bit more shading with your pencil if you want. See? Remember, you're the boss of your color book. You can put whatever you want. Right along her hairline. Like that. And you can continue it on. Yeah. Okay, so let's see what we can do. We have time for like one, maybe one little, the conch shell or something. And maybe we should just do that in pencil. Peach colors. Or, no, you know what? Let's do it in two things. Let's do it some in the, where's my peach color? Peach color, you know, just the Crayola, kids Crayola, like here. This is what I'm looking for. No, that's not it either. That's peach. I really want the coral color. Do I have a coral color? Let's see. Maybe this. I'm thinking like maybe these two colors, like peach and coral. Let me do a test. Where's my scratch sheet here? Yeah, peach, and I think this is coral. Yeah, that's what I want for the shell. So you could do it in pencil or whatever. So I'm going to go ahead and go in here with the coral color, which is, it's more orange than like she is. Her lips and her fingernails are pink. So I'm going to go in here with the coral color. And then maybe some of those dots. And do this conch shell. Coral. And these are just Crayola Super Tips. Water-based. Now, they're not going to blend. I would not attempt to do her skin, all the blending we did with her skin with the Copics. I really wouldn't attempt it with these to do a full-on face blend with these. I like them for just some solid areas. So maybe some of these little dots, and I'll put some more dots after I color in the background. So. But these little kids' Crayola markers are awesome for color books. I love them for color books. Okay. And they'll smear a little bit. Like when I go in here with the peach, it'll smear some, but it's not going to blend like, say, you know, an alcohol mark or anything like that. So, something like that. Now I'm going to take the peach color and just kind of, because the shell is kind of peach, I'm going to leave a little bit of white area, just a little bit of highlight, which I can also go back in there with pencil if I need to. Oh, I know what we need to do. We need to do her hair in stickles. I don't know if I've got enough. I don't know if I've finished her hair enough to stickle it yet. Because I wanted to do her stickles in her hair. But that's the last thing you have to do. And again, I'll fix that little green blob there. When I do all these other dots, they're all going to be like, that'll be covered up too. So like that so far. Now what I want to do is I want to add some little dots to the shell. That right there is actually not part of the conch shell. That's part of her necklace, so I'll have to fix that later. All right, so I'm just going to put some dots. I wonder if she should have some freckles. I love putting freckles. No, I guess she doesn't need freckles with her tears. So I'm just putting a few little extra dots. You know, if you've seen the shells before, they have like, they're not really dots, but they're like spots, spotted shells. So that's kind of what I'm doing here. Spots on the shell. You going to use your... Love the different mediums. Yeah, I love doing mixed media color book pages. All right, so I'm debating on the stickles. See, I haven't colored all these in yet. The little dot, all that needs to be done before you do stickles. Stickles needs to be like the last thing you do. I'm going to take the coral color again, and I'm going to go ahead and do these shell earrings. I'm just going to pull some of that color in. And maybe just a little bit of the peach color on the edges. Like that. Keep the shells kind of a peach color. So we're kind of going to go with peach, coral, lime green, teals, black background. So it's kind of all, you know, kind of cohesive. So, yeah, I'm going to have to wait on the stickles because I'm not done. Yeah, everybody's already mentioned it earlier. Everybody mentioned putting stickles on there earlier, but, you know. So I'm going to have to stop this part because we're going to run out of time. So I think I can continue on. We'll just stop this part and start another one. So this will be part 1 and we'll do part 2. So however far we get in the next segment will be it, you know, part 1 and part 2. So if you're watching this, thanks for watching and we'll be right back. And if you're here in chat, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.